Hello everybody, Galrock the Pizza Guy here for another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Last episode I derped. I said it was episode 17, it was actually episode 18. So that means today we're on episode 19. You might notice a death point over there. And a new row of dynamos, and all my other stuff is gone. Well, I was going to add some more steam power to my steam system over here, and while I was over here moving things around, all of a sudden my steam boiler exploded in my face and destroyed a whole bunch of my stuff. It of course destroyed the boiler, it destroyed the lava drum, which you can see is still trying to refill. I had to add a whole nother row of crucibles to provide me enough lava. Magmatic dynamos were the quickest and easiest thing I could get out in a hurry so I wouldn't lose power to all my stuff. I also upgraded this hardened energy cell we had over here to a redstone energy cell because not enough power was getting through. With everything running, it just wasn't the hardened energy cell was only allowing 400 RF per tick through, so of course everything was just starving for power, including my AE system. And when I couldn't get to my stuff, that was a problem. You might also notice it's a bit quieter. Yeah, I found the configuration option, turned off the noise to the pulverizers and the rest of the thermal expansion machines. I'm sorry, Jaded, that's the only configuration option that I've changed. I promise. I promise. I left everything else the way you did it. So, you might also notice I've got some new interfaces up here ready to do stuff. So let's do stuff. I want to show you processing recipes. So we're going to change this right here to a processing pattern. Now let's say we want to tell it that sand makes glass. So let's look in here. Do I have any? I don't even have any sand in here. Well, we'll put the glass there. That's enough sand to do for the moment. So 1 sand equals 1 glass. Encode that pattern. Now we can go over here directly on the redstone furnace, or again we can still use the interface terminal. Oh, the interface that's on nothing is this one right here. Good time to show this. Set that to hide on the interface terminal, and this one too while we're at it. And now we look on the interface terminal, and those aren't showing anymore. But anyway, we've got our glass pattern in there, so we can tell it to craft, let's say, 10 glass. Well, it automatically puts the sand in here, and I set the output on the back on all these machines to put back into an ME interface here, so it'll all go back into the system. So now we're going to do interesting stuff, because it'd be nice to automate making these circuits and everything that we're going to need as we expand our AE system. So let's make a couple more interfaces. Should have everything we need for that. Alright, good. I'm going to set that one right there. Oops, need some cable. need more cable. Alright. And see, how are we going to position this one? Well, we can do it like this. For one thing, I can put up this stuff that I had for working in between episodes. There we go. And go get my wrench. Because if we look in the interface terminal, it's actually saying that it's attached to the chest, but we're going to whack this with the wrench. There we go. Pointed at the chest. That way it doesn't accidentally decide to use the crystal growth chamber. Alright, so now what are we going to do with these interfaces? Well, for one thing, you remember seeds. So let's do the processing pattern. Yeah, that's probably... Alright, Certus quartz seed. So let's teach our system to craft that. The nether quartz seed. I don't have any pulverized nether quartz. Well, let's do this. I've got plenty of nether quartz to work with. Oh man, I'm gonna have to upgrade that drive. Which one is it? Well, I'm gonna have to upgrade it soon. Matter of fact, I might show that on camera. We'll see. There we go. And we can put that one on the pulverizer. Now let's try the nether quartz seed. There we go. And a fluic seed. We're going to put these on the molecular assembler. You can see I also, in between episodes, taught it how to make resonant servos and filters. We'll get to what that's for in a minute. Maybe. So let's craft each of these. So 2 Certus quartz seeds will equal 2 pure Certus quartz. And finally, now the fluix is going to be trickier. Let's go ahead and make a bunch more of those. I don't have quartz glass and it doesn't know how to make it. Well, let's teach it how to make it. And I think we're actually going to teach it with the nether quartz dust, because we've got total with the crystals and the dust about 1,000, a little less than 1,000 Certus quartz, whereas in nether quartz we've got 3,000. So yeah. Get that in here, and as a matter of fact, I might want to change this pattern the same way. That way we can save that Certus quartz for when we need the calculation processors especially. Alright, so we can put these right there like that. Alright, and you can see that's going to go ahead and pulverize the nether quartz that we needed for that. And we're going to let that process. Obviously, one thing I'm going to need to do, upgrade these machines so they'll run faster. We'll get to that. Oh yeah, I also, for the time being, just filled up a tank over there to keep this little miniature smeltery full with lava. So all we've got to do, and I processed most of the backlog I had of aluminum. So let's grab a filter. Yeah, we've got one regular filter left. That'll work. Now, there we go. And just like the smeltery over there, this is going to just automatically dump molten aluminum into the ingot cast, which is going to get pulled into the system over here. So that automates the aluminum processing I was worried about. Alright, is it done crafting? It is. Okay. So it's going to craft us a couple of those. Whoops. No CPUs available. Now here is the tricky part. This is growing. Let's let that finish up real quick. It's not emptying out. We have to extract. So I want to use a resonance servo for that. Missing a hardened glass. Well, this would be a good time to teach the system how to make that, right? So we want processing pattern. And I went ahead and pulverized some obsidian. It takes 4 pulverized obsidian and 1 lead to make 2 hardened glass. And each obsidian in the pulverizer gives us 4. Okay. So throw that one in there. System pulled it too quick. There we go. Now let's make a resonant servo. No crafting CPUs available. What's it? Oh, that's right. It's still trying to craft that. Well, I guess we'll use the regular servo for now. There we go. See, the system gets picky if you don't get things set up just right. And we're going to use the resonant servo there, because if we're making a whole bunch of those pure crystals at once, I want it to be able to pull fast. Alright, now on this one, I'm on the wrong terminal again. We can teach it how to make charged Certus quartz, although we are getting some, but still. We can also teach it which one? That one. Hey, got it. Something like that. And that, and that equals that. Now remember, we already set this up automated to where we've got all these filters in place. So as long as the items get deposited into the chest, it should automatically do things correctly for us. So let's test that out. We did a charged Certus quartz. And it crafted that. Alright. Let's take these out and we can test that all at once. So we can come over here. Alright. Watch that run. And then process there. Sweet. Off camera, I will work on setting up the rest of the processor recipes. And we still have Fluix crystals to teach it how to make. So if we put a charged Certus quartz, a nether quartz, and a redstone, we should get 2 Fluix crystals. Right there. Boom. Alright. And I think the last one, I'm going to teach it right now, is that pulverizer recipe. Actually, I'm also going to teach some of the magma crucible fluid transposer. Let's say impulse item ducts. So that's 1 item duct, 200 glowstone. I want to make sure I get these portions, these ratios correct. So we need 4 glowstone dust to make 5 impulse item ducts. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 4 glowstone dust. Now this is the kinda tricky part. We're gonna need another servo, and we're gonna need some filters. Oh good, I've already got a couple. We're just going to set that to run all the time. But the filters, we want only the glowstone, okay, we want only the glowstone going into the magma crucible, and only the item duct going into the fluid transposer. That way the system knows how to make these item ducts. And let's come over here and check. Nice. I will set up some more processing recipes off camera, but I think that gives you the idea on how to set these up. So I'm going to check on a couple of things and decide what we're going to do next. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, I'm back. I've decided that it is time to make that bow I've been talking about all this time, and it's also time for some better armor besides what I'm just picking up. The armor, I've got an idea for the armor. That might wait until next episode. We'll see. I made some shears real quick, grew a slime sapling, wanted to get a few slime leaves. And we can just chop the rest of it down. Alright. That should be more than enough. And I've molten down some nickel and some signalum in here. Gonna make a nickel large plate. And a couple of signalum bow limbs. And we're going to make the arrowhead out of enderium. There we go. Let's go over here. I don't think I've made any more of these patterns yet, so let's do that real quick. Namely, the bowstring and the fletching. We should have some flame string. Alright. That's going to be our bowstring. Yeah. And for the fletching, slime leaf. check on this real quick, make sure I'm not missing out on any saplings. Nope. Alright. There we go. Alright, got all these parts. Let's bring it over to the tool forge. Oh wow, with 4 modifiers remaining? Nice. Whoops. There we go. The Galro bow. And for arrows, I need a stick. There we go. We're just gonna have to find out. How much damage those do. So, all a quiver. Because that's a quiver of arrows. Wonder if I can hit those. Yep. Looks like I'm one-shotting everything over there. Nice. What a mess. Clean this mess up. So, we're using up some of the ammo, but getting some skill XP pretty quick. Now, since we've got available modifiers on the bow already, whoops, that's trash. We'll just take some moss stone and put auto repair on it right away. Gonna have to level up the arrows, but we will. No problem. I'd put redstone on it, but it's already at the best speed the mod allows. So, alright, now let me see. Do I have the resources to do the armor I want to do? Not quite yet. Diamond nuggets from my farming over there. So I guess for now, we'll just make some Invar armor. There. Not enchanted or anything, but that'll give me some protection next time I go in the nether, because there are still some ores that I need. Working on all this stuff over here. So I think that's a good place to call it for today. And yeah, next time, hopefully I will have the resources together I need for the armor I want to make. It's some nice overpowered stuff. You'll see. And I think some flight would be good along the way as well, so we'll work on that too. So until next time, this is Galrock the Pizza Guy, reminding everybody, tip those pizza delivery drivers. We're out there working hard for you. See you next time.